Concept. Computer-supported collaborative learning, CSCL, is a pedagogical approach wherein learning takes place via social interaction using a computer or through the Internet. This kind of learning is characterized by the sharing and construction of knowledge among participants using technology as their primary means of communication or as a common resource. CSCL can be implemented in online and classroom learning environments and can take place synchronously or asynchronously. History. The advent of computer-supported collaborative learning, CSCL, as an instructional strategy for second language acquisition can be traced back to the 1990s. During that time, the Internet was growing rapidly, which was one of the key factors that facilitated the process. At the time, the first wikis, such as WikiWeb, were still undergoing early development, but the use of other tools such as electronic discussion groups allowed for equal participation amongst peers, particularly benefiting those who would normally not participate otherwise during face-to-face interactions. Due to the continual development of technology, other educational tools aside from wikis are being implemented and studied to determine their potential and scaffolding second language acquisition. The increasing need of individuals to understand and use those technologies has brought researchers from many disciplines to the field of CSCL. CSCL is used today in traditional and online schools and knowledge-building communities. Practical application in language teaching. It has a number of implications for instructional designers, developers, and teachers. First, it revealed what technological features or functions were particularly important and useful to students in the context of writing, and how a CSCL system could be adapted for use for different subject areas. Second, this study also suggested the important role of a teacher in designing the scaffolding the collaborative learning process, and making CSCL a success. Third, it is important that a meaningful, real-world task is designed for CSCL in order to engage students in authentic learning activities of knowledge construction. For example, cooperative work in the classroom, using SAT-based technology devices one-to-one where the teacher has a program of classroom management, allows not only the enhancement of teamwork where each member takes responsibilities involving the group, but also a personalized and individualized instruction, adapting to the rhythms of the students, and allowing to achieve the targets set in which has been proposed for the individualized work plan. Currently, CSCL is used in instructional plans in classrooms both traditional and online from primary school to postgraduate institutions. Like any other instructional activity, it has its own prescribed practices and strategies which educators are encouraged to employ in order to use it effectively. One of the most common approaches to CSCL is collaborative writing. Though the final product can be anything from a research paper, a Wikipedia entry, or a short story, the process of planning and writing together encourages students to express their ideas and develop a group understanding of the subject matter. Talking about the teacher's role, though the focus in CSCL is on individuals collaborating with their peers, teachers still have a vital role in facilitating learning. Most obviously, the instructor must introduce the CSCL activity in a thoughtful way that contributes to an overarching design plan for the course. The design should clearly define the learning outcomes and assessments for the activity. In order to assure that learners are aware of these objectives and that they are eventually met, proper administration of both resources and expectations is necessary to avoid learner overload. Without the proper structure, any CSCL strategy can lose its effectiveness. It is the responsibility of the teacher to make students aware of what their goals are, how they should be interacting, potential technological concerns, and the time frame for the exercise. This framework should enhance the experience for learners by supporting collaboration and creating opportunities for the construction of knowledge.
Uses of computers in education. It should come as no surprise that the use of computers in education has been steadily increasing and, in many ways, has revolutionized traditional education. Computers in the classroom have multiple benefits for both students and their teachers. Purpose of computers in education. With computers and the Internet, students today have a wealth of information at their fingertips that can help them develop their research and communication skills while preparing them for a future career in a workforce that is increasingly reliant on computer technology. Many colleges and universities offer online classes, and some even offer degree programs that can be completed exclusively online. Online classes and online degree programs make it easier for single parents or students with heavy workloads to continue their education from the comfort of their own home and at their own pace. Benefits of computers in the classroom. Using computers in the classroom gives teachers an opportunity to teach digital citizenship skills that demonstrate ways to use technology correctly and responsibly. As the world we live in changes to embrace tech futures, how and what we teach in our education system will also be reshaped to keep up to date with the growing demands of the 21st century. Let's take a look at the future of learning and teaching. 1. Connectedness, collaboration and co-creation. The concept of a teacher standing in front of a room full of students who listen and respond to direction is increasingly a thing of the past. While not an entirely new approach, student learning spaces will supersede the typical classroom that we know today. This will see students become partners or co-creators of their own learning. Experiences that allow collaboration, communication and teamwork for all students often happen beyond classroom walls. We need to facilitate for these experiences in context, and our classrooms need to be a reflection of this. They will be set up to allow collaboration to occur on learning projects between individuals, small groups or larger groups. Classrooms will coexist as physical spaces and online, flipping the current learning model upside down so that students can learn at home and spend class time collaborating and applying their knowledge to real-life issues. 2. Anywhere, anytime learning. As we ride the wave of the digital era, it is becoming easier to get connected with a global reach. A world of information is at your fingertips with the click of a button or a simple voice command, and, as technology continues to advance, students need to grow their learning with it. Technology is no longer a motivating factor when it comes to learning, it is a must. It's something that needs to be incorporated in the future of education to ensure students are equipped with the skills to cope in a world dependent on technology. While some argue that technology in our classrooms creates lazy, disconnected students, we believe this is a myth. Technology has created endless boundaries of where learning can occur, with whom and why. The reality is, classrooms can be anywhere anytime. Students can be working on projects in virtual contexts with other students from around the world at any given moment. Technological advances have enabled interconnectedness of information and people with the touch of a button. Education in the future will need to demonstrate how technology can be used to students' advantage, as well as teach future generations how to handle problems that arise from it. Technology can change learning forever and we need to embrace it and manipulate it to our advantage. 3. Customization for a learner-first approach. Alongside our changing notions of what constitutes a classroom, our ideas about the way teaching is delivered must also be reshaped. Most professions treat each individual's case differently, each patient of a doctor has individualized treatment plans. Education should be no different. The old one model of teaching and learning fits all is outdated and has no place in the agenda for future education. Teachers will become facilitators of learning and students will have more control of their own learning journey. In the past, all children did the same work regardless of ability or skills. We now know that this contributes to disengagement, misbehavior and poor outcomes. As a result, teachers will have individualized learning plans for students, which will enable each student to learn at a pace that best suits their abilities and to engage with content that is most beneficial to them. A combination of evidence gathering and feedback from parents, students and other professions will enable these plans to be successfully integrated into the education system. To maximize the potential for individual progress, some elements of teacher-led learning will remain, which will augment traditional learning practices when combined with online digital media. 4. Putting testing to the test. What are we testing for? Students today are heavily focused on the end result, achieving that high ATAR score, receiving a distinction in class, acing those tests. Education of the future will prove what you have been told many times before: results do not define you. We believe that testing on its own can be a dangerous approach. Grading is a waste of time if its purpose is solely to point out who is at the top and who is at the bottom. Assessments in the future will be evidence-based, using measures that allow learning plans to be drawn up and personalized. The big question is, why are we grading and for whom? Surely we want a society in which everyone is able to do the job and elements of it competently. Do exams really prepare us for this future? Educators of the future. Curriculum teaching educators of the future will be on the classroom and will continue to do so, and as education changes to suit the future's needs, the role of a teacher must also adapt and grow. It is each teacher's responsibility to empower students to take risks, be innovative and seize any opportunity thrown their way. In light of a shift towards a more personalized learner experience, teachers of the future must be prepared to be data collectors, as well as analysts, planners, collaborators, curriculum experts, synthesizers, problem solvers and researchers. Disadvantages of computers in the education field. Some worry that computers are distracting because they provide students with temptations like games, videos or chats that can take them off task. Another disadvantage of computers in the classroom is over-reliance on technology.